Hello everyone, and welcome back to the island of Hoshina, and we are staring at the mortal remains of one of our former very adventurous females who managed to wander all the way up from the Throne Tribe into the Swamp Tribe and ended up down here finally joining, I guess, what we'll call the Desert Tribe. That's kind of what I've been unofficially thinking about these guys as the Desert Tribe. But yes, she has passed on and left behind her two sons. So we actually have the two little boys, Kunu and Vantaduk, who have taken over this nest. And they have had Near Kirduk, who has watched over them. Is it Near Kirduk? No, it's Tarvanro, who has watched over them for so long. And so these two are going to inherit the nest. I'm thinking we'll send down a Swamp Tribe female to be able to take over this nest, maybe introduce, I'm hoping for a white fur gene to kind of take off in this area, so that'll be kind of fun. And then over here, we're going to try to get our cheetah spots to really show up more. Cheetah spots, blue eyes, that really beautiful blonde mane. I think that would be really cool for having our little, I guess this is kind of like the cactus throne tribe. I just think of it as a throne because it looks like a little throne with this setup right here. We've got that going on, and then we have Van over here, who I want to send up north so that he can go be with the Swamp Tribe, since he is poisonous. He actually has toxic body, which I think is quite fascinating, and I want to try to combine the toxic body and the orange fur with the big ears, the stripes, and the venomous fangs that are over here on the Swamp Tribe. So far, we only have one of our Swamp Tribe members expressing the venomous fangs, and that would be Vandukta, who I should send up here so that he can hopefully have, like, oh, okay, Simi. I want them to have one more baby. Vandukta has been our hero for having really interesting babies this entire time we've been on this island, but his first mate just passed away. You can see her remains right there, so sad. Laura is standing here kind of keeping an eye on her mother's remains, and it's very tragic. A lot of you guys have let me know that the ram horns seem to block. They seem to be the dominant trait, and they seem to block the ability for the poison fangs to come through. So what we might have to do is, it doesn't look like you can make poison fangs an actual trait. So that's actually pretty exciting to know that you kind of have to really work hard to isolate the poison fangs. And it turns out, I finally looked it up just out of curiosity, it's nothing too fancy when it comes to the dots. The mutation, that's just for the panda pattern, and we have panda patterns so prevalent in all of our tribes, it's not really an issue. So I find it interesting because that makes venomous fangs one of the few things you can't really try to mutate in. So we're going to try to remove the horns somehow, maybe with antlers. You know, we haven't had antlers yet. That would be really cool. So I might just throw antlers in there just because we can. So we'll mess around with the antlers in just a minute. And we also have a little bit of a love story going on over here. Anakora, who is our heiress to the Swamp Tribe, has just met with Kir Nukir, who has actually come up from the south, and he helped to kind of fight and take down this big carnivore that popped up next to this berry little den, or this bunny den, not berry bush, this bunny den that we just found. So he took out that carnivore and has impressed Anakora, so hopefully they'll be able to have a child together. And then Reiko is over here as well. I think we might send up, I think Reiko and Van, maybe the two that we can bind, and we'll see if we manage to get any babies from them. And then I've got to do a little bit more exploring. So today is really going to be kind of focused around exploring and possibly getting the white genetics, like the white fur, really started up over here. Do I have a female Miko maybe? Maybe Miko. In fact, this is kind of interesting to almost isolate this area as some of our weaker females and weaker males, like the ones who have very bad genetics, and just let them kind of stay right at this nest and see if anything healthy could eventually emerge, or if you always have weak ones, will they never mutate away from being weak? Will they kind of peter off? So you know what, maybe I'll just keep Miko down here, and we'll see what happens if she has babies with these guys once they're of age. And then we'll continue exploring and trying to have some more cheetah dots and patterns going on over here. So that's what the plan is, at least. All right, gathering up a little bit more berries. At least I can do that much here. And Samiri actually could come over, and Samiri is very beautiful, and she does have that poison fang. So I don't know, we'll have to see what we can do with Samiri in the future. I'll move her over here for just a second because she can gather up some more berries. And then I am actually going to move Simi here all the way down to her mate Vandukta, because they're not going to have very many more babies, and I want them to have as many children as they possibly can. She just had Resi, who unfortunately carries too much of the D immunity gene, so Resi isn't that healthy, but hopefully we will be able to keep her around, either sit her on a berry bush or use her to explore. She has really great speed, which is fantastic, so we might use her to explore around a little bit. We'll have to see. But all right, you guys, so let's go ahead and move on to the next move, and we really need to deal with this carnivore that we have right here. So let's see what we can do with him. He's almost down. Oh no, he took out our little old man. He attacked Kuvan. Take that. All right, well, at least we managed to take out the carnivore, but that's so tragic. And I'll go ahead and explore the spot that we just investigated, and it's raining. Oh, thank goodness. We've needed a good hard rain for a while now. And Rokirkir is about to pass away. Gosh darn it. Can I get that bunny? Dang it. All right. No, it doesn't look like that bunny is going to get any closer to us. So, yeah. Oh. Aw, man. Yeah, Rokirkir is about to pass away. So, and Miri here is about to pass away too. And Kiravan is about to pass away. You know what? We need to get some babies up and going pretty soon. So, we'll just get her perched in the nest. She's ready to have those babies. We'll do a little bit of collecting over here. Oh, look at all the berries we could have. Sweet. And I think we might start, because he can't really move very far and very fast, we'll send Vandukvan up a little bit. He's going to take a little while. He's kind of like a chubby little, like, poisonous hamster, if you ask me. And it's going to take him a little while to be able to wiggle his way up into the swamp, so we might as well do that right now. And meanwhile, we have a whole bunch of creatures keeping an eye out on the various berry bushes, and I don't really want to move them, but Rovan, you can go ahead and you can actually look around a little bit. And then, have I not discovered? Yeah, okay, let's go ahead and collect up from the berry bush. Van, you can only gather up so much. There you go, Van. He can only gather up so much. He's not very good at gathering, so I really need to get some better gatherers on our various berry bushes. All right, and then over here we have a pregnant Simi. Let's send her up into the nest as quickly as possible. So that means, Ressi, you need to scooch it. You need to get out of the way. Ressi can move really far, really fast though, so we'll perch her next to that berry bush, and she can be in charge of gathering up the desert berries. And Anacora, let's go ahead and have you pick your mate in Kiranukir here. And he does have the venomous trait, the venomous fangs trait, so let's see what happens. Our swamp heiress is going to have her very first child, so that might be very interesting. And Kiranukir is actually a great gatherer, so we might send him up to some of the berry bushes. We can send him up over here for now at least. Look at that, 4 berries in one go. That's fantastic. And then Vandukvan, I'm going to send him up to next to Simi. He's kind of almost ready to sort of perch for retirement. And then Lara here, we'll go ahead and send her over here so she can do some berry gathering when it's her turn too. And then Isriko, she can do a lot of exploring. Raka is about the same on berry gathering. Dang it, we don't really have a lot of talented berry gatherers. And Vandukro here is actually better at exploring and attacking than he is at berry gathering. I think Vandukro, he's getting to an age where he's Vandukvan's son. I think I'm going to send him on his own. I think I'm going to let him collect up the berries this time. And then after this, we'll send him out. He's starting to get enough family members that they can take care of the berry bushes without him. So as the natural way of things, I think he would go off and he would go try to find himself his own mate. So we'll let that happen. And I feel kind of bad because over here, Anacora is getting ready to have her baby in the nest that her mother used to have. And her mother's dead now. So she's standing on her mother's bones while she does this. It's a little bit tragic. I'm not going to lie. All right, gather up all those berries. Very nice. Lots and lots of berry gathering going on. We did have a couple deaths over here, which was a little bit sad. No, get away from my... dang it. Bunny. Bunny at the bunny burrow. Gosh darn. All right, well, at least we can gather up some berries to make up for those moves. All right, and Tanu. Who the heck am I going to breed you with, Tanu? That's a good question, actually. Kirku, let's go ahead and have you have more babies real quick. Tanu, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with you. So let's go ahead and move you in charge of a berry bush, maybe? I have Samiri over here. And Samiri, I think I was sending her down. I'm pretty sure. We'll go ahead and have Samiri become Tanu's mate. So she can be in charge of helping out with the berry bushes until he comes of age. And then, yeah, Lamera is about to pass away. So it's almost like old woman Lamera is like teaching the way of the berry bush. All right, there we go. Baby coming here. Tanu, you can go ahead and move up here so you can kind of survey your territory. And then Kiriku, let's see. I think I was bringing Koana over here as well to try to be your mate. But she's got a lot of great exploring opportunities. And she's got a lot of attack as well. So I think Koana, I'll leave her over there to kind of explore and attack for a little while. And then what do we have over here? Miko is still waiting for these boys to grow up. And then near Kiriduke, he is a really good attacker and he doesn't really do much else. So we can go ahead and send him. He's not really good at movement though. So I can kind of send him around the edges, but I don't think he'll get very far. And then over here, Izzy is about to pass away. So we'll have her do as much exploring as possible in that direction before that happens. Bunny! And the bunny is taunting us. And something is taunting us over here too. But we'll go ahead and gather up some berries instead of listening to the taunting thing. All right. Oh, babies. All right. So let's see what kind of swamp babies we're going to have. Anacora, I am so excited. It's going to be her very first child. So let's see what kind of baby we have in the swamp now. Dun, 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 dun. Come on, Fangs. Come on. Oh, you're cute. I like you. I like you. So not quite what we were going for. Kier here. What is he? All right, so he's still carrying the poisonous fangs. I wonder if there's some way we can like get rid of the ram horns, or we're just stuck with the ram horns for a while, or we just need, I mean, because like Vandukta is the only one without ram horns. And we've been trying so hard. I am pretty sure everybody else, look, everyone else has ram horns. So we're just going to have to keep trying, and hopefully, eventually, we will have somebody who does not have ram horns. All right, let's come. Oh, got you. All right, got the bunny. I need the other bunny too. Come back here, bunny. Oh, dang it. All right, so we'll gather up that at least. There's the bunny now. Oh, little brat bunny. All right, we'll get the bunny later. All right, so then over here, that's our new one, Kier. So this is him. Very firstborn. This is actually quite fun. So he's the firstborn. I'm glad he has the green eyes, and I'm glad that he has the stripes and the big ears. Does he have big ears? I think he carries the recessive gene for big ears. We need to get you some big ears, little one. All right, so let's see. I think I'm gonna go ahead and let's do big ears. We don't really need to get that last mysterious mutation now that I know what it is. And then let's do maybe big nose. Let's try big nose, big ears and big nose. And let's see if we can manage to get that, or big ears. Yeah, let's try big ears and big nose and see if we can pull that off. And then we'll go ahead. Simi is going to sidestep just a little bit. She'll step right over here and breed with Vandukta because I think he's about to pass away. I'm going to be so sad when he passes away. All right. And then Kier here. He's not the best at movement, but let's see if I can have, I'm going to have Anacora. She's going to step over here and just go ahead and get pregnant with the next baby. And then her sister, Ranala here. Ranala, I'm tempted to send her down too, but I'm not sure what we would do with her. So I'm going to have her come over. I don't know if we need to share mates just yet. So, all right, where's our little slow mover? Here is Vandukvan, our toxic body. He is not a fast mover. I'm still not sure about having him. Look at the little fat, like hamster body he has. Still not sure about having him as our mate, but we're just gonna go with it. And Lasimi has been born. She looks quite lovely. I love the big ears. She might be a future mate for the swamp tribe. We'll go ahead and scooch these guys around, have another baby. We've got to get more babies because we're going to soon start losing a lot of these creatures. Oh, dang it. I didn't realize that we were hungry. Why didn't you say something? Oh no, there's plenty of berries. Plenty of berries because we still have, and then I did say Vandukro was going to start moving south. So this will be like his last time over here. And then Lara, we'll go ahead and have her gather up some berries too. And then Rocco, we need to bring a mate up for her. You know what? It would be really interesting to combine Rocco and Tanu, just like on a whim, maybe just once. And so we might have them go ahead and breed up next time too. And is Rico, can I send you down? Nobody is really watching this berry bush, and that's unfortunately letting some bunnies on it. So I need to spread out the family a little bit. Like we have little Rusty over here. She's keeping an eye on this berry bush in the desert. We've got new babies, new little tiny swamp babies. And then Kirnuku. You're a very handsome one. And he kind of is the prime example of what I would really love to see over in the desert area. So I'll have to think about that. All right. And let's see. New Kirduke, can you make it over here? You can start doing a little exploring. I need to be a bit careful with the food here now. All right, and these guys are finally old enough. Okay, so Van Taduk, who is kind of, if you guys remember, he is the son, these two are the sons of that like sickly brother that we had up in the swamps who was always exploring off in the desert area, and then he met his mate from the southern tribes in the swamp area when he defended her from a carnivore. Yeah, that little story. And then they went together out of the swamps to try to find healthier lands because they both got so sick in the swamp all the time. And they found this little site and kind of took it over. Well, they can finally have a baby, and we're going to have a baby with Miko. So let's see what happens if we have a baby with Miko with the kind of special little bonuses on our mutation chart that we've got going right now. All right. Aha! Bunman. There we go. Got a little bit of bunny food in there. And then Miri, you're about to pass away, my little old Miri. I'm not really sure what to do with you. Maybe have you come and explore over here? I mean, that's the only plan I've got really, is just like kind of starting to explore a little bit more with those who can. Because we definitely need to do some exploring. Aha! And then we also need to gather up what berries we can too. Plenty of berries. Okay, wonderful. I think pretty much everybody who can explore and everybody who can do something has done something. And Reiko, I really think, I don't know. See, the thing is, Tanu is pretty impressive. So I could see a few of the Swamp Sisters diving down there to maybe get to know him a little bit better. So we might have that happen. So we might send her slowly but surely down there. And then I guess I could technically gather up more of these berries. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. That's right. Samiri is actually being sent down to be one of the sisters who goes to him. So, all right, good. That should be good. That should be good. Do I have a pregnant female sitting on a nest right now? I do. I have her sitting up on a nest. Is she pregnant? She's so skinny. She's got the lean body that it's hard to tell. All right, but you guys, we've got to say goodbye to somebody, because this is our awesome swamp tribe leader, and Vendukta, he's about to pass away. So, okay, let's do this. All right, goodbye, Vendukta. I'm really, really gonna miss you, actually. Oh, that's really sad. Oh, we need to have lots of babies to make up for it. Kir, carry on your grandfather's memory, okay? We're gonna send you over here. All right, hey, get away from my berries. Ah, man. All right, and then let's go ahead and put Anacora up on the nest. Yes, got that bunny. And then we need to gather up some berries. So we'll gather up those berries. And then we're going to move little Rovan, one of his last children, and unfortunately not a terribly healthy one. But he does have the ability to gather up some berries, so we'll move him over here. He can help out with the berries in the future. And then we'll put Simi up on the nest, and now her mate has passed away. This is so sad. Her mate has passed away, and she's sort of just like right here. And then Kirnukir here, I'll have him do a little bit of exploring and movement as well. All right, and then Van Dukro, he can start heading south. As soon as we've got enough food, he can start heading south. He's really earned it. He doesn't have to stay here anymore because he's just kind of like waiting for a mate, and because his sisters are in charge, he's not really going to have that opportunity. And then, look! Van Dukfan has grown up. Our hamster man is here. All right, and Reiko, that's actually going to be her mate. Congratulations, Reiko, I guess. So let's see, he's got decent gather, so we'll go ahead and have him gather that. And then Reiko, you can just go ahead and explore these spots and wait for him, because it takes him a little while to move. He's a little bit of a hamster. He's adorable, but definitely a little bit of a hamster. All right, and I need to do a bit of exploring around these spots, so that's using up a lot of food, and I need to restore that food now with some berries. Really grateful for the rain. Oh no, bunnies! I've been missing bunnies. All right. Let's go ahead and try to gather up some more berries. And can I outrace that bunny? Dang it. I could not outrace the bunny. The bunny has instead outraced me. This is really embarrassing. Oh, that was a bad move. Didn't mean to do that. I wasn't paying attention. I was so frustrated with the bunny. All right, gather that up. The bunny is really trying to avoid us. All right, we're wasting valuable food. Oh, and Izzy passed away. We are wasting valuable food trying to get this bunny. It's just very frustrating when you can't tackle it and it's just right here out in the open. We'll get it eventually. We've got our eyes on it. All right. So I think that's all of the food we can really gather up right now. So let's see what kind of baby we had down here. All right. Oh, yes. That's exactly what I wanted. Some of the white fur coming in. So gray fur even. And a healthy baby, G and F immunity. And it is a little boy who has some pretty good movement, and he can do some berry collecting and decent attack. So cool. So I'm going to try to get like no pattern, just all white fur. Really good movement on this tribe, just because that's just kind of what I'm thinking would be really cool for over here. And then over here we have Rary. So Rary, a little girl, and she doesn't have anything too extremely unusual about her, but she does have big ears, so that's pretty cool. So she's Kirnuku's daughter, and so Kirnuku can have another child if I manage this correctly, but I don't think I can. Kirnuku, we'll move you up there to have another baby. That bunny is gonna drive me mad. And we'll move him up there and have another baby with him next time. So, all right, next time I think I really want to focus on trying to explore this northern part of the swamp in case we have any other nest hiding in the swamp. And exploring this patch would be really cool. I don't think we've ever gone into that patch. So that'll be quite interesting. And I think then Tanu may be coming of age pretty soon. So we may be able to introduce him to his mate Samiri. And we may have our little hamster Van Duke fan, who I'm really kind of warming up to pretty quickly. But we may have him finally be able to make his way up so that he can meet his mate Reiko. And then Simi will have her very, very last baby, and we'll be able to move Reiko down onto her nest and watch as that next generation of the Swamp Family tribe takes over. So I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.